You know, the next thing is, man, Craig Mack was the one that jumped Bad Boy off. And, and it got so bad that Craig Mack, who died from AIDS, that man, he got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong. The man went to South Carolina and joined a cult with his family until he died of AIDS a few years ago.
I'm going to tell you who I believe is on the tapes. I believe Barack Obama got a tape.
Yeah, he's playing high button.
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
Oof.
I know Beyonce got a tape. Oof. I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many freak-off film. Definitely Usher. I think what would shock people are the politicians and the royals that were on that tape.
This dumbass lawyer said he probably got it at Costco. Costco hit right back. We don't even sell baby oil. We be having a real conversation about some real shit. Oh, not a thousand dollars, baby. It ain't that much ass.
Whenever Katt Williams shares his perspective, the entertainment world tends to take notice. Known for his candid commentary and sharp memory of Hollywood events, his remarks often spark discussion. A recent resurgence of allegations, circulating lists, and revived interviews has once again brought him into the spotlight. This renewed attention links him to conversations involving numerous prominent public figures, including Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Ashton Kutcher, Paris Hilton, Howard Stern, Russell Brand, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, Russell Simmons, Usher, and Megan Fox, among others.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
I was a party favor.
What does that mean?
A party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children on a table.
Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them, yep. And they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak off parties, mm-hmm. They put children on the table instead of gift bags, mm-hmm. And then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like extra full. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter. That did not matter.
So they come choose you off the table, do whatever they want with you, and then what happens?
And they put you back on the table.
They put you back on the table for somebody else to come choose you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's called a party favor effect. That's just one of the little things that go on at the freak off parties with children. Were there animals there?
Mm-hmm. Goats.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up. That's satanic ritual. Diddy was at this party?
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie socks and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was butt naked, he had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it. In front of children. Funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Well, so a lot of them do.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
So one of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh.
Yep.
Did you have interactions with Diddy?
Yep.
Denzel? And I know we don't tell on Denzel. You might not tell on Denzel, but your mama gonna tell on everybody. I ain't keeping no secrets.
So stick around, because what you're about to see is straight from the inside. So people like Attorney General Pam Bondi were flaunting around the Epstein files in February of this year. You even had people like Kash Patel, who has been deeply embedded in Trump's orbit, saying that Jeffrey Epstein didn't commit suicide and that the files are indeed real. But our sources, and yes, we're deeply connected inside the White House, have a very different story to tell than the one that's being told to the public.
I am fascinated by this because Patel and Bongino were leading the conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and whether there was a client list. I never thought they would do a flip, but it sounds like they almost have, and they're on board with the notion that it was suicide and there's no list.
Well, very much so. The Department of Justice, with the sign-off of the FBI, released a statement and a memo. Axios first reported it, saying there was no client list and there was no suicide.
Now, during all of this, Diddy had been convicted on 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is transporting across state lines for the purpose of prostitution. And we got word from insiders at the White House that Donald Trump was seriously considering pardoning Diddy. Roll the clip.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. President Trump is seriously considering pardoning Diddy. And we know this. We have sources with direct knowledge that people from the White House have been in communication with the defense team, Diddy's defense team, and that Trump is seriously considering it, and this is going to be timed to the judge's decision on whether Diddy gets bail.
This would be the ultimate smokescreen, and we've seen for weeks some very major smokescreens, but this one would have to take the cake.
And on the surface, this link kind of starts to make sense, right? 2 men, both accused in high-profile scandals, both convinced they were being unfairly targeted, and both using the media to frame themselves as victims. But then everything shifted. Diddy was denied bail. After that, Trump came out and said that he once got along with Diddy very well, but he was leaning towards not pardoning Diddy because Diddy was, quote, very hostile to him during the time that Trump was running for office. Roll the clip.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
But it seems like Trump isn't out of tactics to distract the public from the Epstein files.
Each of these public figures has a dedicated following and a carefully managed image to maintain. Being associated with an ongoing federal investigation is significant, attracting immediate attention from both public relations teams and online commentators. As often happens on the internet, once names start circulating, discussion spreads quickly. Speculation grew when fans noticed sudden changes or even removals on the social media account of several celebrities linked to the reports. One example is Usher, who worked closely with Diddy early in his career and spent time around him during that period. A post from Usher's account disappeared unexpectedly, which he later explained was due to a security issue. The timing drew attention because it coincided with renewed focus on an older comment, in which he mentioned witnessing unusual situations at Diddy's residence. Part to another prominent figure, Pink also cleared her account on X, adding to public curiosity. Megan Fox went further, removing all posts from both Instagram and X, which drew widespread attention. She had previously shared a humorous recollection of attending an event, mentioning an early morning flight and noting that many attendees were dressed in unexpected or unconventional ways. While her comment was originally made in jest, it is now being examined and interpreted differently in light of recent discussions
that's coming out about, celebrities, these celebrities who apparently have been deleting all of their posts on Twitter, the platform now known as X, people that are, I guess some are say are connected to Diddy, are people that were just very, much around him, attended a lot of those parties, the infamous, what people are calling now, freak-offs. So there's three celebrities in particular. There's Usher, there's Pink, and there's Megan Fox. And with this, there is, on a couple of these things, there is a fair amount of misinformation, actually, that has been going around about this whole thing about, why of a sudden all these celebrities, now they're all deleting their posts from on X, what have they got to hide? And it seems to have been just something that, it gets out there on X, one person posts it, it gains traction, and then so many other people roll with it. But going through this stuff here, so first off, there's Usher. So Usher, it was the other day that it came out that was revealed that, all of a sudden there's no more posts from Usher. All of his posts, the tweets, whatever, you used to call them tweets, they're all gone. But then it was yesterday evening, Usher tweeted, account got hacked and damn y'all ran with it. And then see you tonight in Two It Domes. I guess he had a concert on that night, last night. So apparently this is the whole, my account got hacked. Sorry, but I'm going to get back to that one. But with a couple of other ones, there is some misinformation going around with that, and it has been fact checked. So, and there's a lot of these accounts that it's the same people that do this. And what it was supposedly was breaking news that actress Megan Fox has deleted every post she created on Instagram and deleted every post on Twitter X up to 2013, leaving fans to believe it's connected to the Diddy case. Usher and Pink deleted all of their posts, X/Twitter posts earlier today. We come to find out that was fact checked. That was wrong. What happened was that Pink had quit Twitter and deleted all but 2 retweets in February 2024. And then Megan Fox didn't delete her tweets. She used it for under a week in January 2013 before quitting Twitter. And then if I go down a bit more, she already wiped her Instagram in May 2024. So let's get to the stuff with Pink. Okay, so February 2024. She's only got like 2 retweets up on her account. I don't know, she very rarely maybe used Twitter and she was more like an Instagram person. And some say that it's kind of like she's one of these like left-wing, anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk, type people. So some are saying that it's actually got nothing to do with Diddy, and this is more like an anti-Elon thing, which could be the case. I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's the truth though. People are making out like this was just done. I think they're making out like Usher, Megan Fox and Pink followed Usher with deleting their posts, but that did not happen because this was back in February 2024 that she deleted her posts. Now, is it possible because the stuff with Diddy with a lawsuit with Cassie late last year? Now, is it possible Pink maybe being quite smart, clued up, maybe just a team where people around her? And there's stuff there, there's posts, backdated stuff from being around Diddy at parties and events. Did she maybe think it was best just to delete all her posts altogether and just be done with that because there was stuff on there from the past was for her?
Asked about her weekend, she casually said she had spent it with a group of friends, mentioning names such as Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, and Montana. When asked if she personally knew everyone she listed, she admitted she did not. She explained that she had not slept yet, having taken a 5:30 a.m. flight to attend the gathering, and added in a lighthearted manner that many attendees were dressed in minimal or unconventional outfits.
Saying this is what happened. If there's a round of kids, it's a trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person. So they can take a remote and turn that person off. Britney Spears, when they want to. Lindsay Lohan, when they want to. Amanda Bynes, when they want to. Okay? So let's say there's a contract for Justin Bieber. When P. Diddy has a hold of Justin Bieber, he now owns half of those codes. If Usher had the same contract and trafficked Bieber out to P. Diddy, okay, Usher and P. Diddy now have parts of Justin Bieber's contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if one goes down, the other side of the code has to go down. If there's a property linked to that person, Kevin Hart, because they had something to do with the trafficking of Bieber, then their property will go down because there's a code to that property. There's a code to everything. Your social security number is like a code. Okay. But depending on the level of MK Ultra, people have auctions for the codes on that person. So they can use a remote to them like a TV and shut them down, turn it up, use somebody else, change it whenever they feel like it. Bookmark it. Trust me. Trust me, bookmark it. Okay? I know it's probably not going to make sense right now, but bookmark it.
MK Ultra is used, but to get MK Ultra to take hold the way it needs to be, it has to involve satanic ritual, extreme trauma, humiliation, just evil on a level you can't imagine. I don't care what you all think about Trump. I'm not sure what I think about Trump, but he is telling you the truth on a lot of things. You guys just don't understand what he's saying. When he's saying they're eating the cats and dogs, he's preparing your hearts and your minds for the fact that satanic ritual abuse is about to come into the light in a big way. Voodoo is about to come into the light in a big way. Cannibalism is about to come into the light in a big way. All of those things linked to MK Ultra.
His account reflects long-standing rumors about Diddy's gatherings, which were often described as starting like typical high-profile Hollywood events, before taking a different turn later in the evening. The resurfacing of this interview clip has reignited discussion about how many people may have noticed, heard of, or been aware of these situations over the years. Public perception plays a key role in this process when an older remark is revisited. It is often reinterpreted in light of more recent claims. What was once seen as a lighthearted anecdote can now feel like a small piece of a much larger story. Given Chloe's background in one of entertainment's most media-savvy families, many find it surprising that she may not have considered the potential impact of her.
Been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kids say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
Justin Bieber's name often arises in discussions involving Diddy, largely because of their close association early in Bieber's career. Diddy was frequently described as a mentor, with the two spending time together at events and in private settings. With Diddy now facing legal challenges, Bieber's team has stressed that he is focused on his personal life, particularly his role as a father, and has no intention of commenting on the allegations involving his former mentor. Still, silence rarely stops speculation. It can often fuel it. In Bieber's case, public interest has grown with the resurfacing of older interviews and photos documenting their interactions. As both a pop culture figure and a frequent tabloid focus, Bieber's connection to Diddy is widely recognized. Yet moments like these lead to heightened scrutiny of every past encounter. Fans and commentators draw connections, whether verified or not, shaping online narratives that can be difficult to counter once they gain momentum.
The federal government came in because nobody knew, nobody knew before the federal government came in and hit Puff with those charges that any of this would have ever happened. You could not tell me, nobody could predict that this dude would be sitting on trial for his life. It just wasn't in the cards. And now that this thing has happened, it's made YouTube a lot of money. It's made content creators a lot of money. And everybody is talking about something that we started. Way back with Wisdom Clear, MREC, you took over and took it to a whole nother level. Everybody is using it. Everybody is saying that it's Gene Deal's fault. It's Gene Deal who did this. Cassie and a couple other people now, since the federal government got involved in it. Nobody could predict what will happen, but I'm going to tell you what I think is going to go down, brother. Because a lot of has gone, and a lot of people who wasn't at the trial or didn't hear the prosecution do what they did would think Diddy might be getting off. A lot of people think that Diddy might be getting off because they don't know the letter of the law. The prosecution, let's start with them. They did a great job. They did a great job in explaining what trafficking, the 11 charges. The 11 charges, well, it's 4 or 5 charges, but they got different, like trafficking, then paying a prostitution. Actually, they might have paying to transporting prostitution. They got different checkpoints, and that the juror's going to have to go through to check off whether this guy is guilty of the things they saying. The RICO law, they have different statutes of the RICO law that the prosecution had to prove, as well as racketeering. You know what I'm saying? All this started by what I said, the character of this gentleman, the character of Puff, what he has done over the years to...
Diddy is currently facing serious federal charges, including racketeering, and has been denied bail twice since his September arrest. While he maintains his innocence, details from the ongoing investigation have made headlines, ranging from items reportedly seized during the raid to descriptions of his residence provided by law enforcement. One officer involved in the operation compared Diddy's lifestyle and social circles to those of other high-profile figures, noting that such gatherings had reportedly taken place for over 15 years. The officer stressed, however, that not everyone who attended these events was involved in any illegal activity. Still, many reportedly observed concerning behavior as the night progressed. Although no individuals were named, the statement suggests that there was at least general awareness among attendees of questionable occurrences, indicating that certain activities in Hollywood circles may have been more widespread than the public realized.
And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs, so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know.
Cases like this, the comparisons made by law enforcement are telling. By linking Diddy's alleged activities to some of the most high-profile figures in modern celebrity scandals, they create a narrative that is hard for the public to ignore, even without direct allegations against everyone on the rumored list. The association alone can have lasting implications for reputations. Enter Katt Williams, whose candid interviews and forthright opinions have long made entertainment insiders take notice. Known for offering an unfiltered view of Hollywood culture, he is unafraid to highlight connections that others often avoid. While he has not explicitly confirmed every name circulating online, his previous remarks about exclusive gatherings, private circles, and the hidden dynamics of the industry are frequently cited in discussions surrounding Diddy's situation. Katt's commentary carries weight not because he claims to have all the facts, but because his reputation for speaking openly about celebrities lends credibility to his words. Whether one agrees with his style or not, he has once again kept his name and the story in the public conversation. Historically, his statements have sparked debate, elicited responses from public figures, and sometimes coincided with later revelations. In the court of public opinion, credibility is built through consistency and perceived honesty. And Katt
interview me and you did, you said that Diddy and Kim Porter were swingers, and a lot of people was wondering, in the comment section,
How do you know that, yo? Like, was you doing security when they was doing that or something? Because when they were in the room and they would go in the room with another couple, right? And I've seen some things happen in the jacuzzi. Like when I'm the only one could go to the room 9 times out of 10. When Puff was the one who, you know, was in the presidential suite, I'm the only one allowed. I gotta watch the door. No one can get into that door. I'm the only one that had the pass key or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you would hear a boom, 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 a thump or whatever the situation is and stuff like that. Yo, what's up? Everything good? And sometimes they would open the door. I'm right there by the door. Sometimes you see things you don't want to see.
Hey, did they ever try to get you involved? Or
not at all.
Offer you?
Not at all. Puff did it one time, but that's in my book. When he was coming from Dallas, he had the snow bunnies. And I reneged on that. Nah, I'm good.
Hey, did you see any celebrities Puffy did any of that stuff with? The swinger stuff with?
Yeah, I did.
Tell me about that.
I think I told you about that. One time, him and him, Sarah, and this young girl flew from Atlanta. And they, and flying from Atlanta, we had this artist with us, right? And we were staying in the presidential suite at the hotel. And this particular artist and Puff, they told me, don't let nobody come in the room. So I said, all right, cool. So I propped my chair by the room door while they went in. So this artist's cousin knocked on the door. So I went to him and I let him in because I knew him. I see his face and everything. I seen his face several times before. He said, yo, I got to speak to my cousin. And I said to him, well, they busy right now, man. And they told me don't let nobody come in the room. He said, yo, I'm going in the room to get my cousin out. And I said, bruh, you ain't going in the room, get your cousin out. They told me nobody could go in the room. So he said, I don't care who you are, what you doing like that. I'm going to get my cousin. He went to go and try to open the room. I grabbed his ass, joked him up, and slammed him on the piano. And the next thing you know, Puff and this artist run out the room naked. And so then I see the artist trying to grab a towel, Puff didn't give, and the artist like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on? He like, yo, G, that's my cousin. And I was like, yo, my man, he was trying to get in the room, and y'all told me don't let nobody come in this room. Jesus Christ gonna have to come take the Puff. No, Jesus gonna have to take the air out my body if anybody coming in that room. And Puff just looked at the artist, and the artist said, you ain't want to come up in there. It was a lot of freaking going on.
Surfacing of old clips, sudden social media account changes, and Katt Williams' commentary have kept the story prominent in public discussion. Observers note patterns similar to other high-profile celebrity controversies, where individuals connected directly or indirectly to contentious figures often respond with silence, or carefully worded statements months or even years later. In this situation, the public is closely watching who chooses to speak, who remains quiet, and who may become further involved in the narrative as Diddy's legal proceedings continue.